Good evening. Welcome to the Spiritual Mysteries of Life with Constance Vawter. It's wonderful to be here this evening. I would like to thank Rob for hosting the show, and I would like you to take a second, if you would please, take and like and share the show, because that's how we get out and get to other folks. And it's been a wonderful day today here in Florida, and enjoying everything. And so today, I'm going to read something to you that I wrote back in 1978. I wrote it on July the 29th, 1978, and I lived in Grand Rapids, Michigan at that time on a street called Wallenwood. And I was sitting out in the backyard, and Spirit said, "Get a pad and paper." And so I went in the house and I got a pad and paper, the paper, and started writing. And today I'm going to share that with you. Because sometimes we think we know that at that time that was applying for that time, but in reality, it applies to all time. And as light bearers, I thought this was such an awesome piece that I thought, I don't know how I found it. I was going through, searching through papers, and all of a sudden, and I titled it "Joy to the World." And I just love the song. So I thought, well, isn't this interesting? But anyway, I will read it slowly because I want you to hear the words that are important for us. Joy to the world, peace and harmony to all those who will allow us to penetrate their consciousness. Choose it. Your choice is yours. Allow yourself to be at peace in the oneness. Replace, replenish your ideas with the oneness of the universe. Hold to the truth. Let only that which applies permeate your minds. Remember, you are the light of the world, and you are existing in the world of darkness only for the purpose of shedding light into the world. We are ready to make your world that which you have earned. So relax, enjoy, and do what your source or Father has chosen you to do. The road may seem troublesome and devious, but you must shut out all thoughts that are able to permeate the universal consciousness of the negative. We are all light bearers and are able to help one another to withhold all consciousness to a level for that which is beyond your understanding of the world, a frequency that not everyone will be able to handle. It is our hope that all will give what they receive, only to bring again up what the level of consciousness. Hope is a word that will harmonize with the omnipotent peace eternally. Faith is believing that you are God, that you can do anything, for the Christ Lordship is within you. Johanna, Johanna. And that was who channeled that day. So when you stop and think about where we're at today, those words still apply. And when you stop and think about the lightness that they talked about, and we're in the fifth dimension now. That paper was written 42 years ago. 42 years ago. That's a long time. And yet I knew in that, and this was in July. And I'm going to tell you a little story of how this all came about. Is in May of 1978, I was invited to Ellie and Ed Kane's home. And Nellie and Ed were wonderful metaphysical teachers in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And I met them through Unity Church there. And anyway, they invited me to their cabin. And so they said, well, we want to channel and we have some information for you. Well, we talked, the channeling, I wrote everything down. Some of it I did in shorthand because I could do shorthand back then. And then when I found the paperwork, I thought, I don't remember shorthand anymore. So I was trying to figure out it. And I was going to try to read it for tonight, but I couldn't get all of it deciphered. So I just thought, well, maybe another time. But they told me that day that I would be doing what I'm doing right now. And I thought that was, that they said that someday I would be talking to a lot of folks and getting out into the media. And at that time, I was busy working in the corporate world and raising two children. And my life was pretty, intense. And I was working in the spiritualist church at that time, doing a lot of work and readings and things. And but it was interesting that those two folks had taken me kind of under their wing and informed me of what my destiny, so to speak, was going to be like someday. And so when we do that, it's when I bring all this back, it's to say how much I appreciated them. And that's who I named my show after, because she wrote the book, Exploring the Mysteries of Life. And when Denise asked me, what do you want to call your show? And I said, oh, how about the spiritual mysteries of life? And because we don't know everything, and life changes momentarily. And one day you can know that everything is good, and you can have another day where it doesn't seem to be so good. But you have to know in your heart that God is in you and that He's going to take care of you, and everything is fine. And He does. I have a thought that I want to share because of where we're at in the processing. And when I wrote this paper, I can remember it was a beautiful day, and I was sitting out in the backyard there, and I could feel the spiritual energy, and it just seemed so bright. And so now today, when I did my meditation, it was so intense and so wonderful. And so when we think about what we are doing and how we are reacting to things, and um, I always try to talk as much as I can about the I am, because this is the age of Aquarius, and this is the time that we need to be thinking of love and compassion, unconditional love, benevolence. All of these things are going to be the mainstream of things someday. You're not going to have all this negative stuff. It's going to go away. And even in my other channeling that I do on a nightly basis, it's all coming. We're going to be things that right now, people are living in fear. You got to get rid of the fear factor, because it just has to, all this all has to happen, because the light, your light, the light of the world is changing. And the more light we have, it brings out the darkness and makes the darkness come up. And so what happens then? Then of course the darkness has to go away, and it does. It will. And we're going to be doing a lot of wonderful things. And yet, in the years to come, we know that we have things that are going to be not comfortable, but you just keep that hope in your heart and know that God is in you. Your temple, your Christ self within, is emanating and growing. If you can take each day and talk to your consciousness and say, yes, I am that I am, and my Christ, my God, are all within me, and I am who I am, and I'm going to be all right. I'm enough. I have everything that I need, and everything will be all right. And so when this all anticipates everything that we are doing, it's wonderful to be able to see and do the things that we're doing today. And now I got to look over here on the side, because I see Lynn is here and I see Deborah's here. And hello, Deborah. And Suzanne, hello. Hi. And that's my daughter, Suzanne, up in Michigan. And Neshi, of course, is here. And the wonderful aspect of things that we're able to do is the when you think of the absolute joy that you can have in your life. Because if you create your own reality, and if you're unhappy, then you need to look within and find out why you're unhappy. Because uh, he fills us with joy, and he makes sure that we have what we need. And so uh, I've got some things that I want to share with you, and 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 I'm going to read it, because I think it's. I want you to think about it, because I'm going to. This is a little thing. It's called the Light Prayer, and I found this, and I thought, oh, this is so. I like this, because it's what it's doing. It's saying, I release all my past to the light. Just think of that. You can sit here in your chair, or if you're laying down, or whatever you're doing, if you're driving, you can release your past and put it in the light. I release all my negative to the light. All of my negative things that are out there, and I send them into the light. And I believe all of my human, I release, I release all of my human relationships to the light. So all of your relationships that you've had, send them to the light. I release all my fears to the light. And I release all my future to the light. And I release all my human desires to the light. Now, when you stop and think about all those things, and we're able to do those things. Why? Because God has given us the ability to do that. He's allowed us, he gives us free choice. Every decision, think of the hermetic laws of ebb and flow. And my grandmother used to say this to me. My grandma Scherer used to say, now, Connie, cast ye bread upon the waters, and it shall return. And I said, well, what does that mean? And she said, for all the good that you do in life will come back to you. But if you do something that's not good, that also comes back to you. So you have to be careful what you say and what you do. And there's been times in my life that I thought, probably shouldn't have said that, because boom, some things come back. And they do come back. I've lived long enough to see full circle. And I don't know if this is the right time to tell you folks, but tonight is going to be my last show for a while. Um, that was a hard decision to make, but I'm going to take a little sabbatical and see what I can. I may be just trying to come up with some ideas, but we'll see. Because I believe that spirit is driving my bus, and so I have to listen. And so as each day goes by, and I take one day at a time, and I want you to think about some positive statements. I am a light being, because you hear me say that you are a spirit living in a physical body, and we are. I radiate the light from my light center throughout my entire being. I'm going to say that again. I radiate the light from my light center throughout my entire being. Let your light shine. I have to say this because it's just right here on the tip of my tongue, and that is my daughter Suzanne. If when you call her phone, she at the end of her message she goes woohoo. And so, if you were feeling bad and you had, and all of a sudden you hear this woohoo, and it just is a happiness. And so that's what you need to do, is you need to find something that makes you happy. I radiate the light from my light center to everyone. So you're going to emanate your light center to everyone. And I radiate the light from my light center to everything, meaning plants, animals, whatever is, when sometimes they'll go into meditation and they'll give you a choice and they'll say, you go to a place that you like I like the beach. So, and I like to go to the edge with so I can stand there and let the water run up on my toes, up on my feet, and then pull away. And that gives me such a feeling of release. And I always like that. And another place I like to go is in the meadow. And then I have quite a few places I like to go. And I have a place that it's like a garden. And there's a bench there, but there's a creek that runs through. And I feel so at peace when I'm there. And so those are things that you can be thinking about. They're positive statements that you can use in your daily life. I release the light from everything. Now, I am the center of a bubble. Can you think of that? A bubble of light. Light can come to me, and only light can be here. So, what do you think? You can be the light. You are light bearers. I don't think anybody that's watching this show isn't a light bearer. Everybody that tunes into this is absolutely looking and seeking and wanting to be more than what they are. And they're trying to find. And when we live in a world where it's built on fear, a fear factor, that's really tough. And so you have to keep reminding yourself that you are the light of the world. You are the next light bearer. You are the one that's going to bring, I don't care how old you are. The youngsters that are coming in today are going to make such an impact. And it's going to be such a wonderful world. And And another thing too, you think about the children that are autistic today. Give us 40 years, they tell you that the system is broke. And guess what? They'll be the teachers teaching. They'll be the ones bringing in the youngsters to and being able to teach and go and do. They will be. Thank you, Creator, to everyone for everything and for me, and most of all, thank you, Creator, for thee. I always think of when I think of everything that I have and everything that I'm attributing to in my life, and I really am happy that I'm able to do what I do, and we're just an abundance, and we have the ability to go within. When I think back in 1978, when I wrote this article, it was a time where, I was going to college, doing a lot of things. And so there was not a lot of time for me to sit and do spiritual things, but yet I did them. I mean, I think back on the time, and I think if I could have just given more time back then as to what I have now, because I have all the time that I need now. But back then, I didn't seem like I had enough time. But here I am. And it doesn't matter that if you're at a point in time when life is complex and you're uh, trying to get things organized in your life. And the most important thing is, do not get caught up in somebody else's drama. Whatever they have or whatever they've created is theirs and theirs alone. It's their journey, not yours. No one else is responsible. We are responsible for ourselves and how we handle ourselves and that which is to be. We are the best and we are better than. So I got to look over here and see what people are saying if I can. I might have to put my glasses on because I can't see that small print. Okay, God bless you for your journey. Awaken. Well, everyone has the ability to do certain things. And when you have the ability to do all that you have the ability to do anything you want to do. And life is always challenging to you. It has been for me. And when I think about all the stories that I have shared over the year, and it's been 4 years now, a little over 4 years that I've been doing this show. And it's just a time when life gives us certain aspects. And we have to know where we're going and what we're going to be doing. And when you sit and analyze yourself and think about all the things, I don't know what stage in your life you are, but let's say you're doing aspect of things that are whole, and you're saying, I need to be doing more, I need to be doing this, or I need to be doing that. The best thing you can do is to quiet yourself and go within and think about some of the things that we talked about here tonight. And that was doing a releasing all of the things that you don't want to remember. Release that. Because God there's no judgment. He gives us everything that we need and then some. And he is willing to be able to get you to the destination that you're striving for. And we are that which is to be. We have, in this dimension, we've been in 8 years now. And just think, we have thousands of years to go in this fifth dimension. So some of you will be coming back in quickly. Some maybe not so quickly. Just depends. But all the folks that we have lost are getting ready to come back in. Or they're going to stay where we don't know. Because we are multidimensional people. We have so many aspects of being able to do so many things. And yet we say, well, how is that? Well, we just are what we are, and we know. And God is, or source, whichever, or your creator, but however you want to reference to him, is fine. But to know that you are the essence of God. He loves you. He created you. When he created this world, he gave us all opportunities. Each time you come in, you have lessons to learn. And each time, how you handle each one of those lessons will be whether or not you have to come back in and learn it again. You may have to come back and say, oh, am I going to come back in the same family? Or I've heard people say, oh, I don't even think I belong to this family. I don't know how I got in here. And it's funny because you probably came from another planet, another aspect of another universe. And we have light bears that are coming in right and left. They look just like you and me, but they're coming from other dimensions. And we are here and they're helping us. We need them to help us raise the consciousness of the world. We need them to be here. And when you think about the aspect of, oh my goodness sakes, everybody has the mind that, oh, well, they're different than we are. Well, no, they're not. They're all the same. God created us all. We're not anything foreign looking. We are who we are. And God is not out in space. He's within you. He's in your heart. He's in your soul. Your soul stays with God. And a piece of you comes in. That's a different aspect for you to think about. And and so when you think about the aspect of life and what it has to do and how it's going to be, we are that which is. I'm going through a real spiritual challenge. And so I'm giving everything I have of my being. And I know that everything is going to be fine. I don't know how to explain all that, but I do. And as we move forward, life gives us an opportunity. And so I'd like to take a second, not a second, probably take a few minutes, and we're going to channel. So with that, give me a second, and then we'll see what they have to say to us, okay? All right. Good evening, dear ones. We are here with you this evening, and I use the pronoun we because we are multiple vibrations that come in. We are like, think of a rope and how many strings are in a rope. And we come in with knowledge. We come in with the avenue of being and doing. We set forth that information that is necessary for you. It is that which is to be. We are here in the universe, giving and helping the whole, not just one or two, but the whole cosmic, the whole world is being touched. The aspect of all that there is. Be who you are. Be the light that you are. Make sure that you bring forth that energy of light into the world and act and do. Be that which is. Do not say to yourself or make yourself feel bad. Just bring forth all of that information that you know that you have because it's instilled in you, it's given to you. You are who you are. And when you ask the divine, when you ask the spiritual realm, when you ask the archangels, when you ask, you will receive. They don't just come and set up camp with you. You have to ask for their assistance, and they will attend to you. They are here for your well being. We are here to do that which is to be. Your light so shall shine, and so will the world. We have when I say a lot of avenues and different aspects of the world that are going to be changing. Your the water system is going to change. Your seawater will be drinkable water in the future. You're going to have magnetic heat. It's not going to be oil. There's going to be things that are going to be changing, and you're going to be looking forward, and you're going to be saying, oh, wow. And life is going to be in a harmonious state. No more wars. Can you believe that? We are setting this station, we are setting things forth and helping humanity all. We'll be helping each other. Nations will be helping each other, not beating them down, but bringing them forth and bringing them up. We are now in a state of being. We are the ground, the platform of which is to be, the coming forth, the knowing that the banks, the federal government, all is going to be changing. And guess what? This has been going on even in 2015 when everything was a mess. Things happened and they straightened out. All right, now it's going to continue. Things are going to straighten out. This fear factor is going to be leaving, and we are going to be in an element of absolute peace and harmony and love. Go within yourself and know that you are going to be a contributing factor for shedding the light into the world, knowing that you are who you are and going forth and bringing forth the information that don't sit on your seats. Get up and talk about who you are, what you believe, and how you are to believe, and know that you are, and that God is within you, giving you the courage, the Christ that is within you, giving you the strength and the courage to move forward. These are the things, this is the world to come, and know that you will benefit when you leave this. Some of you senior light bearers, when you leave and you look back and you say, oh, how much did I give? How much did I should have given more. Don't think that. Just know that you are today. Today's the first day of your life. Give it the very best that you can. Move forward with it and give God what is God's, and know that you are the light of this world. Blessings be. Okay. Now I'll have to listen to the show to know what I said, but anyway, that's the way that goes. And of course, when I do channel, we record everything, so we have things um, that we can look back at, and we love. Okay, well, I do want to take a minute here and look at all the responses that I'm getting. Okay, many people have never even seen what professional shorthand looks like. Oh, that's the truth, isn't it, Neshi? Nobody even knows what that was all about. And see, Neshi, so I have love enough to suit full circle. And it is, and when we have lived, and I have to just say this: is sometimes I've had to break some circles, and that's okay, you know. And I gotta put my glasses on because I can't see the little words. All right. Oh, okay, full. And sometimes things are just what they are, and I want to thank everyone who has been involved with my, watching and supporting me. And don't be so. It's Lynn. She's saying, "I'm sorry you are taking a break, but respect your need to take a break." Well, Lynn, I don't know exactly what exactly I'm going to be doing, but maybe I'll be doing. Maybe I'll just pop in on something and just say hi once in a while. But it it makes it is what it is for every one of us, and I need some time because it's all spiritual. It's everything that I'm going to be doing, and I need to get ready for that, and I need to take and get things set up and do that which is necessary. And I had a young lady who I who asked from Michigan, bless her heart. I knew her mama and daddy, and she texted me and said, "Are you the Connie Scherer from Michigan? Connie Scherer, are you Connie Vawter from Michigan?" And then, of course, I touched back and I said, "Yes, I am." So I don't know if she saw me on the show. I don't know how she, connected with me, but um, I hope I gave her my phone number, and so I hope she'll give me a ring because her mom and I were neighbors, and her name was Nancy, and we used to have a pretty good time. We got into more trouble than we really, we seemed to get ourselves in a lot of things that we shouldn't have been doing, but we had a lot of fun. And she'll tell you a story. Nancy's in spirit now, but she's telling me the story, and I'll share it with you. We were we were in the garage, and a varmint had, and I think it was a raccoon or something. I don't know what it was. Woodchuck. That's what it was. It was a woodchuck, and and we were trying to get that thing out of the garage. And she was behind me, and I had the shovel, and I raised up and I swung, and I ended up hitting her. And she says, "I'm not the woodchuck." Oh, and we just sat there and laughed. But we were just kind of fun and carefree at that time, and so those are just the fun things in life, and you have to remember them and know that life gives us memories. And that's when I said earlier about releasing negative thoughts or anything that seems not to work for you. If it doesn't feel comfortable to you, then you have to let it go. Don't harbor it. Don't carry it around. Take your basket and empty it out, and that's okay. You just, I mean, there's nothing wrong with letting go and saying to yourself, okay, here we are. We're in we're in a world. We are. This is the best. I mean, it's going to get better, a lot better. But right now, and when you think that you can make a foothold in what's happening in the world, to let your light shine. And then I know I've said this to you before, but I'm going to say it again. That when I was a little girl, I used to go to the Baptist church, and I probably was 7 or 8 years old at the time. Maybe I might have been 9. I don't know. But anyway, and my little girlfriend Linda, her and I would we'd get on the little bus, and they'd take us to Sunday school, and then we'd have to go to church. And so then the director said, "Okay, we want you and Linda to sing This Little Light of Mine." So here we are, two little girls standing up there singing This Little Light of Mine, and then hide it under a bushel. No, I'm going to let it shine. So you see, those are little things that you want to go back in your memory and pick out the things that made you happy, or that you remember were fun, and doing that things that, even if it was, didn't even have to do with church. I lived on a lake. I think I was a mermaid in another lifetime. In fact, I know I was. But when I lived on the lake, I was in the lake all the time swimming. And we had two lakes that were adjoined. One was one lake, and then there was this other lake that was dark and deep. And there were no houses on that lake except for one. And we used to go there, and there was a log that was sticking out. So we would climb on that log and jump in the water. And then we would go down as deep as we could go and then shoot back up. And and you stop and think, what a crazy thing to do. But we did that. That's the kind of stuff we did. And we just had fun times, and you'd swim and ice skate, because that was the thing. I mean, you had a lake, you could ice skate, go across the lake. Oh, mother would say, don't go across the lake, you might hit the thing. Oh, we did. We all went across the lake. And we didn't think about any thin ice. It was always so cold. And and that's another thing. Now I'm mentioning that. Um, we're going to go into it kind of like a mini ice age, and we're going to have some things that are. It's going to get where it's cold, like in Canada, in the northern part. It's going to be cold. It's going to be really cold, and then when it's hot, it's going to be really hot. So we're going through some changes, and so if you're in that frame of thinking, well, I'm in a cold area. Well, guess what? It's going to get colder. So, and then down here, in my case, I'll probably be getting hotter. But that's the way a lot of that stuff happens. So, but I didn't know if anybody wanted a reading tonight. It's 7:44. I might have a few minutes. If anybody wants one, I'd be happy to do one. So, but it takes a few minutes for everybody to get their thoughts together. And but we're here, and we're just. I'm so happy that you're allowing me to, have allowed me to be part of your life. I really do appreciate that. Um, okay, Lynn. All right. All right. Now. Hmm. Okay. Hmm. All right, Lynn. Um, I'm going to say to you that I want you to be. I know you're anxious to get started and to get rolling. But it's rolling. But I hear the song "Rolling on the River," and by Tina Turner, and and I'm thinking to myself, now don't get going that wild, but just know that you're going to be able to do some of the things that you were doing before, and that they're showing me that you're going to be doing well. But there's something that I see here, and I'm not sure how to interpret it, but I'm going to give it to you the way I see it. It's a, it's almost like a computer screen, and it's dark. And I don't know if your computer went out, or if there's something that's not 100% in your situation. But guess what? In the center, there's a star. And so that tells me that whatever this darkness is, there's the star of the light of God is in it and is going to spread and clear. And they're showing me how the darkness fades away. So it becomes more than just one light. There's one, two, three, four. There's just beautiful lights. They're like stars, and that's the only thing I can explain to you. And it's wonderful for you to know that everything is going to be fine. And just one day at a time. Sometimes, there's a song, Jesus, that one day at a time, sweet Jesus. That's what I would say to you. So one day at a time, honey. So, and blessings. Okay, Lisa Crawford. All right, Lisa. All right, Lisa. I see you, and you are going in a circle. And I'm not sure if you will understand what I'm going to say to you, but I believe that there's a lot of drama going on in your life right now. And what I'm saying is, they're showing me that you need to step out or break the circle, step out of the arena and go and be who you are. Don't allow the drama to kind of suck you in. You make your stand and say, I am who I am, and you take stand and stand firm and know who you are. Do not get involved with the avenue of aspect that I sense here of you in this circle of drama. Step out, honey, and make your own. You don't have to live in that negative element. Step up and be you. You are a strong woman, a strong individual that you can do whatever you choose to do. Do not allow someone else to tell you what you have to do. Love yourself and go within and say, I am enough, and be the woman that you are. And blessings be. Dawn, am I getting this right? Dawn Nelson. Okay. Gotta make sure I get the right person here. Mm. All right, Dawn. I'm going to say to you that you are a beautiful light being. You have so much to give. You are a giver. But remember that when we give, we also need to receive. So you need to find within yourself and find your happiness within you. Don't worry about that which is outside. Know that within you, and if there's things that are going on that aren't really happy thoughts, sit down, Dawn, and allow yourself to reach within and ask. And when you ask and inquire about your Christ self that lives within you and your higher self, the God self that's in you, when you make those inquiries, do you realize that you're opening the door for your spirituality, your oneness with God? He's waiting for that. He doesn't want you to be sad. He wants you to have joy and peace and harmony and benevolence in your life. And he's willing to give it if you seek it. And it's going to happen. When I see your face, it's lit up and it's so wonderful. And you're going to be feeling wonderful. Go within and be and know that you are the essence of yourself and of God. And you are a strong light bearer. You are going to be opening channels. Oh my, yes, Dawn, you need to step forward. You need to do it. You need to step out in faith, step out and do your thing. Don't let somebody else tell you. Just get out there and do it. And I am excited for you because your life is going to change. And as a light bearer, you are going to be seeing aspects. Um, I want you to think about the Archangel Michael because I'm seeing the blue ray, and he is of that ray, and he is a protector. So go and ask for his protection and be with you. He will do everything he can to help you. And also, I'm seeing the Archangel Raphael, and our Raphael is also with you. And so go within and seek him, for they will guide and direct you in the areas in which your life is in need. And God bless. Oh, Anne, I don't have cards, honey. I don't pick cards. I never have, but I'll certainly do a reading for you. Oh, dear, bless your heart. Um, um, there have been times, Anne, that when you're seeking, and it seems to me like I'm stepping, it seems like I take two steps forward and one back, which is okay. That's what sometimes we do. And doesn't mean that it's the end. It just means that you take one step forward or two steps forward, one back. That's okay. But just know, and that you have the ability and you have an innate ability to reach within your innate and reach and pull out. And you are in, oh my, you are on a roll, or you're going to be on a roll here, and you're going to be opening up channels that you have not experienced before. So don't be afraid. Let them come to you as you are progressing. I feel like I want to be in nature, and if that's where you're comfortable, go to nature. It doesn't matter. Wherever you can go to get within to where you need to be. Honey, you are a gifted soul and you are given certain aspects, and know that you can do whatever you want to do. It's part of your plan. And I can see you, and you're hopping along here, and it's like, oh, gee whiz. And then it's like, oh, I need to sit down for a minute. And so you sit down for a minute, and then you say, okay, now I got to get up again. It's like you have a lot of nervous energy, and it's okay, but just, don't let it take you down to the point where you're exhausted. Allow yourself to be that which is, and know that you have an inner knowing. And you're going to be doing some really wonderful spiritual work. So let your light shine. Get right out there and do what you have to do, girl, because it's all there. It's just waiting for you. And blessings. Oh, that's wonderful. Okay. What time is it? We got about 3 minutes. Um, is there anybody else there, Rob? Kristen? Okay. So that's Krista Love. Okay. All right. All right. Okay, Krista. I for some reason I feel like I stepped off from something. I mean, I it was like a big step, and it was bigger than I anticipated. I took a bigger step than I wanted to take, and I almost lost my balance. And so it's like I almost felt like I was falling forward. And then I caught myself, and I pulled myself back, and I got myself back on track. But whatever you're doing, honey, you be careful that you're in the spirit. When we get involved in our spiritual work and we get on a roll, we kind of want to hurry it along. Try not to do that, because then we might go just, you might have a slip. And sometimes we have to go at a pace that sometimes we think we need to do it faster. Let me tell you, I just take it from me. Things, you don't do it faster. You take and breathe, because our breath is the most important thing. And I really feel that you need to take and step back and breathe a little bit. Take some deep breaths and know that you are in essence. And I know you know that God is in you. I feel it. And I can feel that you know who your Christ is, that he's in you, and that you are so anxious and so excited. So just know that we need to breathe. Breath is so important. And when you meditate, take those breaths and hold them, and then release. Hold and release, and go with that which is to be. You are moving, and I'm going to say it, you're moving fast. But if you need to take and slow it down just a little bit, no matter what you're doing, whether it's spiritual work or your daily work, or you're at work and it's a rat race and you're running and you're just doing, do, then you need to slow it down. I want you to slow yourself down just a tad, honey, because life is what we make it. And so just know that you are a bundle of joy, a whole bunch of fun. And so just keep yourself intact. and know that everything is going to be fine. And I know that you have some nervousness here over something, and just know that um, it's going to work itself out. Just give it some room. Give it, let go of it. Okay, honey, just let go. If it's meant to be, it'll come back. But let go, and blessings be. And I have to say goodbye because we're at the top of the hour. And again, I want to just thank you all for all that you have done for me, for all the love that you have sent to me and given to me. And I'll be back, and I'll be able to, you watch and see. You might see me someplace you don't know. I'm on YouTube, so you can check me there. And and blessings be, dear ones.